Hello, friends. I've been meditating lately and just really the last few days upon the servant heart of God. I was up at this conference in Kansas City. The focus was on the beauty of Jesus, the magnificence of Jesus. And one of the sessions was on the servant heart of God by Stuart Greaves. And he said this phrase that really stunned me. He said one of his prayers is Jesus, please serve me today. And he said, probably about half of you have the same response that Peter did. No, no, Jesus, don't serve me. And the picture was in John 13, Jesus said he was going to wash Peter's feet. And Peter was like, no, you aren't. You're not going to wash my feet. And Jesus was like, if I don't wash your feet, then you aren't clean. You know, your whole body isn't clean. He's like, well, wash me, like wash my whole body. And and so I realized that was my heart. It's like, no, no, Jesus, you don't serve me. Like I'm here to serve you, but you aren't here to serve me. Like that's not your place. But I'm coming into this realization that the heart of Jesus is a servant. And Jesus has the same heart today as he had then. He's not dead. Jesus is alive and he has the same heart of a servant that he showed, that he displayed on earth. He has that same heart today. And we need to learn to receive from him, to receive his ministry, to receive his love and his kindness. And what I realized was that if I don't receive from him as a servant, if I don't realize how Jesus serves me, then I can't serve with that same heart to others. It's hard to love and to serve people if I don't realize how Jesus has loved me, how he serves me, how kind he is. And what was just stunning to me is what kind of God would care enough about a person to wash their dirty, grimy feet. And that had even more significance in that culture. What kind of God would care so much and would have such a humble heart that he would serve, that he would love like that? It just rocks me to realize the humble, contrite heart of Jesus. So I encourage you, meditate upon how God has that same heart today, how he is a servant. He's the servant of all. He said that he didn't come to be served, but he came to serve and give his life as a ransom. Jesus came into situations with a mindset of serving. But it's not just acts of service. It's coming from a heart of a servant. What I realize is so many times we can do acts of service, but it's not with a humility, and it's not just a humble, contrite service from the heart of a servant. And I realized even the heart of Martha in the story, Martha and Mary, I was just wondering even how much of a servant's heart did Martha really even have? She was doing a lot of service, but she didn't, in a lot of ways, probably have that heart of a servant that cared and that had that intimacy with Jesus, that knew how to sit at Jesus' feet, how to love, and how to really care. It was a lot of motion, a lot of going, a lot of doing, but not a lot of deep caring and deep love. And so I want that. I want that service, that contrite, that humble heart of Jesus. And there's so many stories I can just remember of times when the Lord has taught me this. There's one time I went to TCC college, and there was this huge parking lot, and the Lord said, "Park way out in the parking lot." And I was like, why? Why would I do that? He's teaching me about being a servant. And he said that there was a lot more people that would be coming in and they would have to walk farther. But it was like, I didn't want to serve people that I didn't know who it was. But God was like, just have that heart where I'm not having to be first. I don't have to be the first one in line, the first at this, the first at that. But serve, even if you don't know who it is. Serve and have a humble heart. But I didn't. I went ahead and pulled up to the closest spot I could get. And I pulled out, popped the door open, and it smashed against another car. And ended up damaging their car, and I gave them the insurance and stuff. And the Lord was just so kind to have them not file insurance. But what I realized, if I had obeyed the voice of the Lord and walked in humility and service, then I would have even had more rewards. And just, I realized the rewards of having a servant's heart, and just the heart to serve whoever, whenever. And one of the major ways I've realized is just even at places like a restaurant, I go there and am I having the mindset of I'm here to serve these people, I'm here to love these people, or are they here to serve me? And if I have the mindset of I'm here to serve them, then if something happens, I don't get what I want, they don't bring me the right thing, then I'm not all angry and bitter at them. I can really love and serve them. And actually, I had a birthday party one time, and we went to a restaurant as a surprise birthday party. But the waiter was just really frazzled and, messed up on the order several times, didn't bring food, didn't bring the right thing. And my friends just had such a kind spirit towards her and just such a gracious spirit. And, they just reminded her, that she had forgotten things, but also gave just a really big tip. And you could tell that this lady was ministered to, and what was cool is that was really serving her, that was loving her. And I realized that when I have the anger and just this frustration, that's the exact opposite of the servant's heart of Jesus. It's not the kind, tender heart of Jesus as a servant. And so what I realized, even at the home, where so much interaction takes place, do I have the heart of a servant? Am I having the heart of, I'm here to serve my family. I get home from a hard day of work, tired. Do I have the heart that I'm here to serve them? Or are they here to serve me? I've had a long day, and so now they're here to serve me and fulfill my desires. And then when they don't do that, I get frustrated. Someone took the last cookie, the last this, or they did something, they jumped in the shower before me, something happens. Am I angry at them because they aren't fulfilling my desires, they aren't serving me? Or do I have the heart that I'm here to love, I'm here to serve? And at this conference, there was a couple of times when people got ahead of me in line just for the shower, and God had to humble me. He's like, Josiah, you're called to serve. Wherever you go, have the heart of a servant. Wherever you go, even if you pay for it, you're there to serve. Even if you have the justification, the right to something, lay that down as a servant. So I want to have that heart. Wherever I go, whatever I'm doing, have the heart. I'm here to serve. I'm here to love. And just to lay down all my rights, all my desires, and just have that humble heart. And just like Jesus, wherever he was going, whatever he was doing, when he was healing, when he was teaching, when he was in any circumstance, in all kinds of different contexts, he had the heart of a servant. His whole life, his whole ministry was with the heart of a servant. And there's a song that's been resonating in my heart. And the lyrics are, did you learn to love? It's not about my ministry. It's not about, and it goes into these things. It's not about all these other things. When we're before the Lord in the final day, he's going to ask, did you learn to love? Did you care about hearts? Were you kind? Were you tender-hearted? Did you have the heart of, I'm here to love, I'm here to serve, even if I have to be last or least, I'm here to love, to care for hearts. And when we have the heart of a servant, we're truly the greatest. The greatest in the kingdom are the servants. That's true humility, is to be the servant of all, and it's true greatness. You're really great. You will be great. You can learn to serve the least of these. To give a cold cup of water in the name of Jesus is like serving Jesus. Have that tender heart, that heart of compassion and love. Be motivated by love in everything you do, and it will have huge impact in the kingdom. That's the greatest way you can store up treasure in heaven. Is have the heart of a servant. Have the heart of the king. The king is the servant of all. Have the heart of the servant and love in everything, in every context. Love.